What up, Omaha? The Burbs, the Bluffs. Got a video for you today. Eyes of the Prize. It's called Harvest of Shame. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Oh, yeah. We don't participate in ignorance here. Today's the 20th of April, 7:02 in the morning. Make sure you guys drive safe. Shouts out to all the bus drivers, all the drivers, period. That's transporting precious cargo. Without a doubt, baby. Without a doubt. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. We're going to play a video, Harvest of Shame, back from the documentary of Eye of the Prize. Check this one out, y'all. It's about 40 minutes. Boss with me.
They pay more in the White Town. 70 cents, 7 years today, 70 cents today, 70 cents, 70 cents, all day jumping. All I can do is imagine.
$8 box, and you guarantee you if you pull today and we pull what we got to pull today, you'll have $11 in your pocket.
Over here, 70 cents, all day jumping. Over here, 70 cents today. We're paying today. We pay more in the White Town. 70 cents. 7 years today, 70 cents today, 70 cents all day.
Eyes of the Prize.
All I can do is imagine.
$8 box, and you guarantee you if you pull today and we pull what we got to pull today, you'll have $11 in your pocket.
This is not taking place in the Congo. It has nothing to do with Johannesburg or Cape Town. It is not Nyasaland or Nigeria. This is Florida. These are citizens of the United States, 1960. This is a shape-up for migrant workers. The hawkers are chanting the going peace rate at the various fields. This is the way the humans who harvest the food for the best-fed people in the world get hired. One farmer looked at this and said, "We used to own our slaves. Now we just rent them." The Secretary of Labor looked at the migrant plight and said,
"I think they're the great mass of what I've called the excluded Americans. They are people who cry out, the workers and their children and their wives, who cry out for some assistance, and whose plight is a shame. It's a shame in America."
The president of the American Farm Bureau Federation, the largest farmers organization, says,
"I think that most social workers would agree that it's better for a man to be employed, even if his capacity is such as to limit his income. And we take the position that it's far better to have thousands of these folks who are practically unemployable, earning some money, doing some productive work for at least a few days in the year."
This is that begins at the Mexican border in California and ends in Oregon and Washington. It is the story of men and women and children who work 136 days of the year and average $900 a year. They travel in buses. They ride trucks. They follow the sun.
Well, I don't know. It don't look like we'll ever get ahead. I guess we'll just have to keep going till we can find something better.
A minister named Cassidy, who works with them, says,
"They are just as bad as a slave. Only on name they are not a slave, but in the way they are treated, they are worse than a slave. And somebody has made thousands of dollars out of his sweat. Is that a slave or not?"
They are the migrants, Workers in the sweatshops of the soil, the harvest of shame.
Brought to you tonight by Philip Morris Incorporated, makers of Marlboro, filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 100.
Now, Edward R. Murrow.
This is CBS Reports, Harvest of Shame. It has to do with the men, women, and children who harvest the crops in this country of ours, the best fed nation on earth. These are the forgotten people, the underprotected, the undereducated, the underclothed, the underfed. We present this report on Thanksgiving because were it not for the labor of the people you are going to meet, you might not starve, but your table would not be laden with the luxuries that we have all come to regard as essentials. We should like you to meet some of your fellow citizens who harvest the food for the best fed nation on earth.
David Lowe talks to Mrs. Doby, 34 years old, mother of 9 children.
Mrs. Doby, what things do you pick up north?
We pick strawberries and cherries.
Who works with you out of this family here?
Everybody except the baby.
Who takes care of them in the field?
Well, they just kindly stay along with us or take care of themselves. The one that can't walk usually stays in the baby buggy.
What is an average dinner for the family?
Well, you mean what do we have in?
Yes.
I cook a pot of beans and fry some potatoes or some corn or something like that.
How many quarts of milk do you buy for the children, Mrs.
Well, we don't have milk except maybe when we draw our paycheck, we have milk about once a week.
For all these children, you have
the
milk?
Baby has, she is on the bottle, and she uses about 15 cans of milk a week. But the older children have milk about once a week.
Do they like to drink milk, Mrs. Doby?
Yes, they like milk.
The only reason I asked that question, I was quite shocked that they had milk only once a week.
Just thought they didn't like it, but they like milk, but there's so many, a gallon of milk will make them a glass around, and so we just can't afford it every day.
What do you want most for your children, Mrs. Doby?
Well, I'd like for them to have a career, whatever they'd want to be when they got older. Of course, the smaller ones, don't realize yet to know what they'd like to be. But the older girl, she'd like to go to school if she could. Of course, she'll probably be like the boy, have to quit as soon as she's old enough. She really likes to go to school, but she had to miss last week because she had to keep the baby for me to work.
Mrs. Doby, wouldn't you ever care to have a house of your own?
I'd like to have a house. If we plan to buy one, if we could ever get enough to pay down on one, we'd buy one.
Do you think this will ever happen?
Well, it don't seem like it.
This is Belglade, Florida, where the Exodus has its beginning every year. The migrants call it their home, but the circus people call their winter quarters their Sarasota. Charles Goodlett, chief of police of Belglade, says,
the problem that we have now are the ones that come here that don't have the money to rent a room. They'll sleep around the bars, in the grass, in the packing houses, around the lake area, in the parks, any place they can find to sleep, to rest for a few hours. They come here with one thought in mind, is to survive till the end of this season and save enough money to get to the next state, going north.
From towns like this throughout Florida and throughout the South, the 2 to 3 millions move out on their annual migration, which ends in late November. They carry with them whatever little they possess, whatever little they are. At the Okeechobee labor camp, while families were preparing to move north, there was still some work in the bean fields. Children, as usual, were left to fend for themselves.
Jerome, how old are you?
9.
9. Do you go to school?
Yes.
Where do you go to school, Jerome?
I did at Okeechobee Elementary School.
I see. What is your sister's name?
Lois,
That's Lois. And what are your other sisters' names?
Catherine, and Beulah.
Catherine and Beulah. What happened to your foot, Jerome?
Dig a nail in out there by the wash house.
So you drove a nail in out by the wash house. What did your mother do for that?
She put some alcohol on it
Where do you sleep, Jerome?
in his bed.
You have this big bed?
Yes.
What happened? How did you get that hole in that bed there, Jerome?
The rats.
The what?
Rats.
Now, Jerome, you are taking care of Kathy, of Beulah, and Lois.
Yes.
Now, are you going to give them lunch today?
Yes.
What are you going to feed them?
I don't know.
Do you have any food here to give them?
Yes.
I see. What time does your mother come home?
I don't know.
The following day, Aline King, the mother of Jerome, Kathy, Lois, and Beulah, again was picking beans.
Aileen King, I saw your children yesterday at the Okeechobee camp. Why didn't you put them in the nursery?
I don't make enough to pay for it.
How much does it cost to put them in?
85 cents.
85 cents.
That's right.
Aileen, what time did you come out the field this morning?
6 o'clock.
What time will you get home?
About 3:30, 4 o'clock.
6 this morning to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right.
How much did you earn?
$1.
$1?
That's right. $1.
Is that because the beans were of poor quality?
That's right.
Has this happened before?
That's right.
How much will your food cost you today?
About $2.
Aileen, how old are you?
29.
How many children do you have?
14.
How old were you when you first started working in the fields?
8.
You've been working 21 years in the fields?
That's right.
Aileen, do you ever think you'll be able to get out of this kind of work?
No, sir.
All the migrants travel fourth class. If there is a privileged class, they ride in their own jalopy, in the best Jode family tradition. The long journey begins. Through Atlanta, Nashville, Indianapolis, en route to the fields and orchards of America. Lowe has been following the migrants for the past 9 months. Some are freewheelers who travel as a family unit. He met the Parsons family as they were about to leave Belglade tomatoes for Indiana strawberries.
Mr. Parsons, do you think the farmers you work for care about your problems?
No, sir. They're not in particular worried about you. They just want their stuff out and you get away as quick as possible.
Would you say that you're welcomed when you're needed?
Well, that is the only time that you are welcome is when they are needing you. They're friendly and everything, but once they're done with you, well, they'd rather for you to move.
Did they ever ask you to leave their places?
Oh, yeah. They tell you if you finishing up like tomorrow, well, they had rather for you to be out and gone in about 3 days, and that way it'll cut down on their electric bills and all of the other stuff.
What do you want most in this world for you and your family?
I'd like for my family to be well, stay together as much as possible. I'd like to be on a farm somewhere out away from so many people to where they could attend one church and be interested mostly in one school. And that way I believe they'd all be better satisfied.
Mr. Parsons, do you think this will ever happen?
Not the rate that I'm going now, no.
Hi, Kevin O'Leary here. You know these are tough times for entrepreneurs, and I'm worried about these leaders because they need a constant flow of capital to grow their businesses. So I want to talk to you about an alternative form of financing called equity crowdfunding. It allows small businesses to raise capital directly from their customers and advocates.
Most of them ride 1,500 to 2,000 miles to work in vehicles owned by crew leaders who recruit the workers for the migration north. This is the Roach family looking for work.
Mr. Roach, how did you happen to come to this place?
Well, I came to Augusta, and I was talking to some people, and they told me to come on down to Waycross, that it was lots more work around Waycross, see?
Well, how many miles have you been traveling looking for work so far?
About 1,600 and something.
Mr. Roach, where did you spend the night last night with your family?
Over in the woods. Pulled off on the side of the road, a little dirt road and slept in the woods outside the car.
May I ask you, sir, what did you have for dinner and your family last night?
Well, we had bologna sausages and loaf bread.
That isn't very good food for a growing family, is it?
Well, we made on it.
How much money do you have in the world right at this moment?
I only have about $1.45.
Well, what do you intend to do about food for your family today?
Well, I've always worked and always figured I could get work. I had never been where I couldn't get a little something to do.
The vegetables the migrants picked yesterday moved north swiftly on rails. Produce en route to the tables of America by trailer is refrigerated and carefully packed to prevent bruising. Cattle carried to market by federal regulation must be watered, fed, and rested for 5 hours every 28 hours. People, men, women, and children, are carried to the fields of the North in journeys as long as 4 days and 3 nights. They often ride 10 hours without stop for food or facilities. The first stop is normally at Yulee, Florida, 1 mile from the Georgia border, a checkpoint for farm labor leaving the state.
Okay.
There are other stops. Kingsland, Georgia, for bread and sandwich meat. Darien, Georgia, for facilities. A roadside stop en route in South Carolina. "1,000 miles north of Belgrade, Florida, by way of U.S. Route 17 and 301. Through Jacksonville, Savannah, Charleston, Wilmington, and New Bern is Elizabeth City, North Carolina, a bean stop, good for 6 weeks' work. This camp was home for 40 days for the families of Tom Lockett's crew, now 30 hours out of Belgrade.
Miss Blakely, how many years have you been working in agriculture, in the fields?
Oh, practically all of my life. I haven't did no other work much but in the field all of my life. I raised all of my kids working in the field.
I noticed that there's some straw over there. What is that for?
Well, that was the straw they brought for the people to sleep on.
Well, weren't mattresses supplied here?
They used to be, but they ain't now.
Mrs. Blakely, where is the water supply over here?
That's it right there.
For how many people?
For this and that over yonder, they all use the same.
And how many bathrooms are there here?
Now.
Where do you use the bathroom? Where are the facilities?
Don't have one. We use our tin tubes.
Mrs. Brown, how did the children fare on the journey up north?
Well, they got kind of fretful, and got so riding, handling them. But we made it.
Miss Brown, may I ask how old you are?
I'm 37.
Mrs. Brown, how many years have you been working in the fields?
all my life.
Do you remember how old you were when you started?
I was about 8 years old.
Would you like to get out of this work?
I sure would.
Do you think you'll ever be able to?
I'm hoping so.
Do you think you'll be able to, though?
I don't know.
20 miles from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the workers, driven 900 miles north by crew leader Norman Hall, picked beans at the prevailing rate of 50 cents a hamper. Lunch is not a picnic, whether brought from the labor camp or purchased at the open-air kitchen, or in a bottle heated by the rays of the sun.
In a survey in 21 states conducted by the National Council of Churches, the migrants themselves listed the evils of labor camp life. Bad housing, flies, mosquitoes, dirty beds and mattresses, unsanitary toilets, and lack of hot water for bathing. One employer of hundreds of migrant laborers was asked, are they happy people?
Well, I guess they got a little gypsy in their blood. They just like it. A lot of them wouldn't do anything else. A lot of them don't know any different. That's all they want to do. They love it. They love to go from place to place. They don't have a worry in the world. They're happier than we are. Today, they eat. Tomorrow, they don't worry about. They're the happiest race of people on earth.
Mr. Jones, do you think that the migratory laborer makes a living wage?
They make a poor living. In other words, sometimes it's just like the farmer. Sometimes when things are good, when the yields are good and they can make good money, they make a good living. But take year in and year out from different seasons, different sections of the country, I'd say no, they make a poor living.
There are days when beans are not ready for harvest, and that's one more day with no income. Ed King, a crew leader, hauled his workers to this camp at Powell's Landing, Virginia, where they worked 5 weeks pulling corn and picking beans. And when the fields have been stripped in North Carolina and Virginia, the trucks and buses again move north. This is Little Creek Ferry, outside of Norfolk. 20,000 migrants are ferried to the fertile fields of the Virginia Cape and the eastern shores of Maryland and Delaware for beans, tomatoes, asparagus, and potatoes. For one crew, hardship was climaxed by disaster, the death of a migrant.
We had a little trouble on the road about 4 o'clock this morning, Sunday morning, and a car and a little wreck. One killed.
Has this ever happened before with any crews coming up north?
Once as I remember, it was in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
What happened?
Everybody got killed.
Every year, as predictable as the seasons, there are accidents resulting in death and serious injury to these laborers. On June 6, 1957, at the intersection of U.S. Route 301 and State Highway 102, 9 miles from Fayetteville, North Carolina, 21 migrants were killed, 17 males, 3 females, and the baby boy. The police report stated one of the causes of the high loss of life was the packaging of the occupants of the truck.
Today, only 6 states have laws providing for the safe transportation of migrants within their borders. The state of North Carolina is not one of the 6.
Secretary of Labor Mitchell.
Hardly a year goes by that we don't read in the paper of some very serious accident where sometimes a dozen or more people have been killed purely because there is no interstate standard with regard to safety.
Another complication of the migrant stream is the constant flow of foreign workers into the available pool of domestic workers. Hundreds of thousands of Mexican braceros and thousands of offshore laborers from the Caribbean area, hired by contract, depress the wage scale of the domestic migrant. This controversy is most bitter on the West Coast. Joseph Woods, a Marine combat veteran of the Pacific, competes against the braceros. Lowe talked to the Woods family under a tree, which was their home in California.
Mr. Woods, how did you happen to pick this spot to camp?
Well, someone told us about it, and they said it was all right to camp here.
Where do you get your water supply?
We go to town after it.
And how do you bring it back here?
In can. We have a 10-gallon can.
What do you use for sanitary facilities, Mr. Wood?
Well, just get by the best we can.
How many days will you have to be picking cherries in order to find enough money to move into a house, Mr.
Well,
Wood?
probably quite a few. They usually want a month's rent in advance, so by the time the cherries are over here, we'll be moving somewhere else anyway.
Mrs. Wood, tell me about the children. Do they go out in the orchards and work with you when you work?
Well, we have taken them out sometimes, but they're a little too small to work.
Who takes care of them here?
My father stays here and takes care of them usually.
Do you think that you'll ever make enough money picking fruit, Mr. Woods, in order to get settled down in one place and have a home of your own?
I don't think so.
Throughout the United States, there are others, like the Woods family, who are not able to enjoy the luxury of living in a labor camp. In New Jersey, a few miles from Princeton, is this labor camp. There are 2 water taps and 2 outhouses. Families live in one room, usually in one bed. The single men live in the bull pit. Their space, 1 bunk. 4 people live in this room in New Jersey. A family of 6 will move into this room. Nearby, a trotting raceway has new stables for horses. They cost $500,000. At Cutchogue, New York, 300 migrants live in this camp owned and operated by the Potato Growers Association of Long Island. This is migrant housing, 90 miles from Times Square. Some have tried to leave the endless migratory stream. Wherever this happens, the local slum areas expand. This is Riverhead, Long Island, New York. A minister said, "This is as primitive as man can live." This settlement of former migrants is called the Bottoms. In Shenango County, New York State, a farm labor camp. The ultimate goal of Ed King's crew, 1,257 miles from Belgrade. The migrant mission serves 1/2 pint of milk and 1 cracker to each child. This is their lunch. Their parents eat lunch in the field, sometimes 75 miles away. This is the living space of Eileen King and her 5 children. The room is similar to their winter quarters in Belgrade, only smaller. Charles Schuman, president of the American Farm Bureau Federation, says,
"We were the only group of people that furnish housing for our workers. And we furnish these extra benefits, perquisites. Some sections call it the furnish. And it's almost impossible to calculate the value of these added benefits. At the same time, we don't condone inadequate housing."
Mr. Schuman, why does the American Farm Bureau Federation so violently oppose federal legislation?
I think there'll be more rapid progress with state regulation than there will be with federal regulation. We think that federal legislation will follow the route that almost all federal legislation does, of additional and more stringent and more regulations with more and more red tape, and more cutting to a certain pattern all over the country. In effect, it would probably rule out the use of migrant labor very quickly.
The middleman between the farmer and the migrant is the crew leader, a remnant of the padrone system in wide use 60 years ago. Ed King, a crew leader, says,
well, a crew leader, he have to be the father and mother and all when he takes this crew out, because the whole crew will mostly be dependent direct on him.
Reverend Michael Cassidy, who travels with the migrants, says,
well, some of the crew leaders, they are good, but the majority of them, they are bad. They are so bad that they are the worst that they can be. They're trying to skin alive these migrants. They take every dime they make. They try every scheme is possible. For instance, they pay the owner, the grower, pay them 45 cents to pick a crate of tomatoes. And then they turn around, they pay the labor 12 cents at the most. And natural, they have 3 or 40 or 50 or 100 people picking tomatoes. He makes, I know a man last year making here, right in here, $14,000, the crew leader. And all the men they left in here, and I met them in Alabama, they were broke. They didn't have a dime because they didn't make the money themselves.
everyone who knows anything about this situation agrees that the best hope for the future of the migrants lies in the education of their children. But for the children of migrants, education is not easy to come by. There are 600,000 of them. Most state child labor laws ignore farm children. And so far as the children of migrants are concerned, almost without exception, they leave school at the age of 16 forever. The United States Office of Education reports that the migratory workers have the highest rate of illiteracy in the country. Approximately 1 out of every 500 children whose parents are still migrant laborers finishes grade school. Approximately 1 out of every 5,000 ever finishes high school. And there is no case upon the record of the child of a migrant laborer ever receiving a college diploma.
Only 6 states have summer schools for migrants. The New Jersey School Center is at Cranberry.
Laura, how old are you?
11,
11. What grade are you in?
in the 6th.
6th grade. Do you intend to go to high school, Laura?
Yeah.
What would you like to be?
I like to be a teacher.
What would you like to teach?
But I like to teach the 5th grade.
What do you think about going to school here in Cranberry, New Jersey, Harry?
I like it. I like it.
Well, good. Would you, do you have any idea what you want to do when you grow up?
Be a teacher.
Well, good. How old are you, Patricia Ann?
8,
What grade? 9? What grade are you in?
4,
Do you have any idea what you want to be when you grow up?
yeah,
What's that?
a nurse.
Otis, what would you like to do when you grow up?
Be a doctor.
You going to be a doctor?
Yes.
What kind of a doctor, do you know?
Because I'd rather be a dentist.
A
Your
dentist?
teeth.
Mrs. Christine Shack, their teacher, was asked about her pupils.
Mrs. Shank, do your pupils, who are, most of them, children of migrant families, are they anxious to get an education?
Terribly anxious, even more so than the child in the normal school year.
Do they get any help from their parents as far as schoolwork is concerned?
Usually, you will find that the parents themselves are not educated. When we go out to enroll the children, oftentimes the parent will make an X and the person interviewing will have to sign it in order to get permission for the child to be enrolled in school.
Mrs. Shank, how does this problem affect you personally?
I think maybe I feel a bit of responsibility toward these children because I realize that we here in New Jersey reap the benefits of their parents' labor, and the children are suffering because their parents are here doing this.
I saw one bright little girl. Her name was Laura Weeks. Will she really have a chance to continue her education?
Laura is from a rural area in Florida, and she is from an exceedingly large family. In fact, I believe there are 8 or 9 girls, all girls in the family. They have been coming to New Jersey now for about 3 or 4 years, to my knowledge. Laura is one of my returning pupils. I've seen great progress from year to year in Laura. We've had her for 3 sessions. However, I think because of the family's financial conditions and the size of the family and the fact that she is in a rural area, that she probably will get no farther than upper junior high school or maybe complete high school with luck.
What about Harriet Damon?
Harriet, too, is from a very large family. There are 9 children in the Damon family. We have 6 of them here in the summer program. She is the oldest of the 9. I doubt seriously that Harriet will have an opportunity to advance her education. One can't help but have compassion for those who find themselves in such a condition.
The federal government spends $6.5 million annually protecting migratory wildlife. This year, Congress failed to appropriate $3.5 million to educate migratory children. Senator Harrison Williams, chairman of the Subcommittee on Migratory Labor, was asked if state or federal legislation was the answer.
Many aspects can only be successfully dealt with at a national level. For example, wages. We see states in competitive positions. They're reluctant to raise wages through legislation in their state because their farmers are competing with farmers in other states. And we see in education some states who have taken great strides. We can't expect states to do it alone when they know their neighboring state with whom their farmers compete are not doing anything. We know that just about everybody in this country has some federal support for adequate housing through FHA or whatever the program is, except the farm community. And the migrant farmer is the most poorly housed member of our society.
Senator Williams, a Democrat, and Secretary of Labor Mitchell, a Republican, have called for legislation which will probably come before the next session of Congress. And only last week, President Eisenhower made the Presidential Committee on Migrants a permanent body. But the real problem is that there are many kinds of farmers and many kinds of crops. The big mechanized grain and dairy farmers use little or no migrant labor. Some of the major canneries do pay fair wages and provide adequate housing. However, it must be stated that most of the fruit and vegetable farmers find it economically impossible to build good housing like this to be used only 6 weeks a year. The farmer claims he is trapped between what society expects and his market demands. Howard Jones, a grower in Florida, was asked if he knew what his beans, picked that day, would bring in the market.
Well, you can't tell from one day to another. Some days you'll go down there and you'll get $5, and I've seen them drop to $1.50 the next day. Or one day they'll be $3, and the next day they might be $2. Or one day they'll be $2, and the next day they could be $4.
Who sets your price?
Well, that's what we're all trying to figure out. Everybody, I don't know the answer, but the chains seem to have more to do with setting the prices than anyone else. There's too much difference between the price that they're paying the farmers all over the country. And something we've thought about trying to get somebody to investigate it, some of the congressmen, the senators, but you go up there to Washington, we had a group of boys go up there here a couple of years ago. They gave them a runaround. Agriculture Department, they all gave them a runaround. We believe that those chains have lobbyists in Washington, and they're going to do pretty well as what they please.
Mr. Mitchell, some of the growers have told us that the chain stores fix the prices, and they cannot meet those prices if they pay their labor a higher wage. What about that?
Well, I wonder if that's a very valid argument. That might be said of many other industries. It might be said, for example, of the garment industry, and I've heard it alleged that retailers dictate to the manufacturer the price they will pay for a garment, and in effect say, you produce the garment at that price no matter what it takes to produce it. However, the garment worker in this country fares very well in terms of standard of living, due in large measure to the efforts of people like Mr. Potofsky and Mr. Davinsky of the ILGWU and the Amalgamated Clothing Workers and others who have taken what was a very substandard industry not so long ago, 1911, the Great Fire in New York. Today, these workers are thriving members of the community. And the price that my wife pays for a garment today, she gets a much better garment than her mother ever had at a lower price. So this argument that the farmer has to meet the dictation of the chain store leaves me rather cold.
The migrant farm worker occupies the lowest level of any major group in the American economy. The soil has produced no Samuel Gompers or John L. Lewis. As Secretary of Labor Mitchell states,
I think the AFL-CIO in the past has been too preoccupied with other affairs, and probably the farm problem was so tough that they were reluctant to tackle it. I think your attitude and policy has changed, and they're making a greater effort now to organize than they ever have in the past.
Farm labor, however, is excluded from all federal legislation designed to protect the rights of those engaged in interstate commerce to organize and bargain collectively. In 1959, the AFL-CIO set aside $100,000 in an effort to organize the fruit pickers of California. One of the large growers in California was asked what he thought of this effort to organize the fruit pickers.
I think their very lack of progress and their very lack of success in signing up members has shown that the industrial type of union which they represent has no place or application to agriculture.
Charles Schuman, president of the American Farm Bureau Federation, was asked how his organization felt about unions.
I think that the agricultural worker needs to have the right to change jobs, freedom to move about, freedom to quit if he doesn't like it, freedom to protest, freedom to negotiate, or they are organized, but the right to strike at the time of harvest ought to be regulated in some manner.
The AFL-CIO Organizing Committee in California thinks differently. Earlier this year, they called a strike meeting of cherry pickers in Stockton.
Always on the go for a winter steak in summer, and the pay has been too low.
A meeting reminiscent of the days of auto and steel organizing in the 30s.
We stand as won or failed. Keep your hand upon the dollar and the dime for every pail.
Louis Cramer, an official of the organizing committee.
Your negotiating committee met with cherry industry representatives for the first time in the history of agriculture. They set a minimum of 110 per 16-quart bucket for good and average picking. Now, some contractors and growers will try to beat down that minimum price. They'll say that they can't afford to pay 110 a bucket for the big crop, that they're squeezed, that the Chrysler Imperial needs fixing, or Junior's Thunderbird is on the blink. Now it's up to you and the rest of the pickers. It's your program. It represents united action.
Sure, you can get a job, but if you can't live on what you make, what good is the job?
You make about $5 or $10 today, and tomorrow you just looking for a job and stay on the street looking for a job. You don't got no job another day. And what do the local people supposed to do?
We live anywhere, in a tent, under a shade tree, under a river bridge. We drink water out of a creek or anywhere we can get it. 5 or 6 families drink out of 1 cup, a tin can, or anything else. We're to blame. We tolerate that stuff. If we stick together and say we won't do it, we won't pick your cherries until you give us some restrooms in the field for the ladies, some for the men, and some water fit to drink, we won't pick them. We get them.
The fruits of the earth must be harvested to feed and sustain mankind.
What have you to show for picking since the harvest has begun? We have barely
we made expenses, but we've set a going scale. Keep your hand upon the dollar and a dime for every pail.
The question posed by thoughtful men is, must the 2 to 3 million migrants who help feed their fellow Americans work, travel, and live under conditions that wrong the dignity of man? Howard Van Smith, awarded a Pulitzer Prize for his series of articles on migrant labor in the Miami News, says this.
I knew next to nothing of the migrant situation 4 to 5 years ago. I knew there were migrant camps, but a migrant was just a person who worked in a farm to me. After seeing what I have, I am sure that I will devote the rest of my life to doing what little I can to help solve this problem.
Secretary of Labor James Mitchell says,
I feel sad. I feel sad because I think that it's a blot on my conscience as well as the conscience of all of us who are whom society has treated a little more favorably than these people. They have no voice in the legislative halls. They certainly have no voice in Congress. And their employers do have a voice. Their employers are highly organized and make their wants and terms and conditions known to our legislators. I know of no greater pressure lobby, so-called, in Washington than the Farm Group. In all the matters in which I am interested in, I have been frustrated to a greater extent than in any other sphere of activity as Secretary of Labor in my inability to make any impact at all in terms of either regulations or law that would help the farm workers. And the pressures of the farm groups are tremendous. We guarantee to the farmer no loss in certain crops. There the farmer likes to participate in the government largesse. But Lord help the fellow like myself who dares suggest that perhaps the government should do something about the workers that work on farms. It seems to me that in our kind of a country, we no longer quarrel with the idea that man is worthy of his hire, a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. After all, the employers of this country, as indeed the workers, are part of our way of life, and it's morally wrong, it seems to me, for any man, any employer, to exploit his workers. In this day and age, I don't think we should tolerate it. As a citizen, in or out of this office, I propose to continue to raise my voice until the country recognizes that it has an obligation to do something for them.
And while men of goodwill seek to right injustice, the migrant, the lonely wanderer, the outcast, is trapped in the stream. Now it is November. The last of the laborers, in trucks, buses, and cars, approach the southern states to start the cycle all over again. The Sunshine State welcomes them back. Homestead, Immokalee, Pahokee, Belglade, and hundreds of other communities. This is home. New housing is available. The rent, $15 per room per week. The migrant is at the mercy of the weather. This year in Florida, there was a freeze, killing beans, tomatoes, celery, corn. Its byproduct was a bread line. Migratory farm workers are not eligible for unemployment insurance. This happened in the United States in 1960. A line of humans waiting for a ration of tinned goods, milk and bread. The Secretary of Labor says, "For the rest of my life, in or out of office, I propose to do something for them." A hardened newspaper man says, "For the rest of my life, I will do what little I can to help."
I want to talk to you about a new form of financing called equity crowdfunding that allows everyday people to invest in.
But perhaps Julian Griggs, a chaplain for the migrants, speaks for all of us.
Is it possible to have love without justice? Is it possible that we think too much in terms of charity, in terms of Thanksgiving Day baskets, in terms of Christmas baskets, and not in terms enough of eliminating poverty?
The migrants are back in Belgrade, winter quarters, after months of travel and work. One said he brought back $1.65. Another said $6. Another said we broke even. We were broke when we left, broke when we got back. We asked them what they thought they could do to help themselves, and they said nothing. What can we do? Last week, a presidential committee made up of the Secretaries of Labor, Agriculture, Interior, and Health, Welfare, and Education made certain recommendations regarding the migrants. Here are some of them. Extend child labor laws to cover agricultural workers. Eliminate residence requirements so that migrants will be eligible for health, education, and welfare programs. A federal law requiring crew leaders to register, thus protecting migrants from exploitation. Extension of workmen's compensation laws to agriculture. New housing regulations. States to pay local school boards for the education of migrant children. There will, of course, be opposition to these recommendations. Too much government interference, too expensive, socialism. Similar proposals have been made before. In fact, 150 different attempts have been made in Congress to do something about the plight of the migrants. All except one has failed. The migrants have no lobby. Only an enlightened, aroused, and perhaps angered public opinion can do anything about the migrants. The people you have seen have the strength to harvest your fruit and vegetables. They do not have the strength to influence legislation. Maybe we do. Good night and good luck.
Harvest of Shame has been brought to you tonight by Philip Morris Incorporated, maker of Marlboro, filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste.
All right. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. That was Eyes of a Prize. That was from 1960. Harvest of Shame. Oh, yeah. Harvest of Shame. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man. I'm not happy right now. I'm kind of, today is Tell the Truth Tuesday, y'all. I had to tell the truth. 2 feet in, plantation. Are we still dealing the same? Are we still dealing with long lines? Are we still dealing with long food lines? Are people still sleeping out on the streets? I would say yes. Or has things changed since the 1960s? Have things changed since 1960? I say it has not. The rich have gotten richer. The poor have gotten poorer. These are the stats, y'all. These are the stats. Oh, yeah. The rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer. That was 1960, y'all. Eyes of a Prize. I recommend that you go to YouTube. YouTube have all the episodes of Eye of the Prize. It'll give you a true history of the contributions of Black Americans. But also, you'll see their abuse. You know, some of those people worked all their lives in the field and just get $1. I mean, no medical care. I mean, we still doing the same thing. No medical care. I mean, we still dealing with high unemployment. Wow. From 1960, y'all, to 2021, we're still doing the same thing. Right now, it is 7:58. It'll be a beautiful day today. Get out. Today is, 420 day. Oh, yeah, 420. You know, they celebrate 420 around the country. I'll let y'all research that yourselves. But happy 420 to those that celebrate. Also, we're gonna play some music, man. We'll give our prayers out to our brothers and sisters up north in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They dealing with riots, but they also dealing with a person that's killed 8 other people at the FedEx. Minnesota's going through some things right now. But this is the world. This is the world. And Black people are still being treated and killed. I mean, when is it going to stop? I mean, 400 years or this? I mean, 500 years? I mean, when is it going to stop? And then always talking about black on black crime. Well, I mean, it's white on white crime. It's Mexican on Mexican crime. Chinese on Chinese crime. Every race, every so-called race, we're all part of the human race. But since y'all want to distinguish every race, is going to be a high rate of violence against his own race, because usually those that are victims of violence, they look the same. So usually whites, you know, they usually rob white people or they murder white people. Just like black people, just like, I mean, of course, you know, other people get victimized, but every race has internal problems. Every race, so-called race, kill themselves. So you got husbands that kill their families, wives that kill their families, and they all look alike. And so let's wash off that argument, black on black crime, because it's white on white crime, Chinese on Chinese crime, Mexican on Mexican crime. If you look at every country around this world, there's crime in every country. Russians do crime on Russians. Mexicans do crime on Mexicans. Brazilians do crimes on Brazilians. Americans do crimes on Americans. So let's get out of this. We always want to segment the black man, black on black crime. Well, let's look at the cause of crime itself. And being a former probation officer, I got some knowledge on this, man. And being black and growing up in the projects, I got double knowledge. And then also I got some triple knowledge because I graduated from Midland Lutheran College with a behavioral science degree. I studied all the ologies. I put my education against anyone. Yes, I brag off my education because my mama couldn't read or write. I had to read to her. She picked cotton for y'all for real. I brags off my education. And I double dare anyone that says that education is a waste of time. You're a waste of time. Education is the foundation of everything. You're educated. As soon as you come out your mother's womb, she's teaching you, or your father. Period. You're getting educated regarding sounds, smells, tastes, because God gave you those senses, 6 senses. So let's stop being foolish. Let's stop being foolish and not value education. We were not allowed to read or write on purpose. You see the eyes of the prize of our ancestors, their plight, their struggle. They wasn't educated, wasn't allowed to read. Most of them worked all their lives on the field. And we take it for granted. It just hurts my heart to hear those stories. It hurts my heart to hear the abuse of my ancestors, and we take it for granted today. We don't want to. I mean, we got some resources. We give our intelligent wealth to others every day. We are working. We're not lazy. We're not lazy. A couple of us are. About 2 of us are lazy. We got about 2 people over here lazy. We got lazy people in every society, in every culture. So today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Here we practice telling the truth, but also accepting the truth. Yes, we put it in practice like my man A.I. Allen Iverson. Yeah, we actually practice on improving our behavior. Without a doubt. You know, most people aren't going to believe it. Most people aren't going to believe it. But you have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself and get it done. without a doubt. So let's get it done. Let's get out today. Today is, let's be honest with self. If we need to work on something to improve self, let's get it done, man. What's wrong with improving self? What's wrong with improving those around you? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being honest with self? You know, as a counselor, one of the things that I've told those that were in front of me, as well as working in Dulles County jail as a violence counselor in a violent environment, you can expect other people to lie, cheat, steal, manipulate. You can expect other people to do that. But when you lie to yourself, you're already defeated. When you lie to yourself, you're already defeated. And so let's not defeat ourselves. If we know someone's not good for us, then sometimes you got to change those relationships. It's tough, but that's the reality of it. And so being on both ends of it, because in life, you're going to be on both ends of it. We're going to be on both ends of it when some people want you around and sometimes they don't want you around. And that's just the reality. And so we can't lie to ourselves. We got to accept the truth and move on. Sometimes, life is hard when you go out and make it that way. And so in those situations, the best thing to do is to just refocus, adapt and adjust and continue. We all have to accept the truth if we want to or not. Another skill that we need to develop is the ability to agree to disagree, because we're not going to always agree. We got to have the ability to agree to disagree. I think I'm hearing a hum. I'm going to turn these lights out real quick. Get rid of this hum. Let me turn some music on real quick. All right, there we go. Again, today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. It is the 20th of April. Man, time is moving by quick. It's moving by quick, without a doubt. We're going to be doing a Father's Day concert. Yes, Father's Day concert. I know fathers, we don't get no love. I just got to tell the truth. I know Mother's Day is coming up. We know Mother's Day is coming up. But, fathers, we get no love. I think Father's Day, the holiday ranks next to Halloween. That's how bad we are. We're right next to ghosts and goblins. That's how they rank us. Men, no love at all. And so here at 95.7 The Boss, since we bosses over here, we got to do our own thing. Sometimes people aren't going to acknowledge you. So you got to do it yourself. Sometimes your neighbor's not going to acknowledge you. So we're going to do it ourselves, men. We're going to organize a concert. We got a Father's Day concert. We're going to lock down our artists. We're gonna have the women singing to the men. Yes. Yes. We're gonna have the women serenading the men. If you guys got some suggestions, I'm still trying to decide on artists, female artists. So give me a call. Let me know who you would love to see. My number is 402-763-6781. That's the studio number. 402-763-6781. Fellas, let me know who would you like to see to serenade you. Let me know. We got a little budget. All right. Father's Day, June the 20th, going down. Oh yeah, without a doubt. You'll be hearing more. You'll be hearing more in the next week or so. So just put that on your calendar. Father's Day, without a doubt. Mother's Day, women, we haven't forgot about y'all. I mean, y'all good. I mean, Mother's Day ranked in the top 3 next to Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's how Mother Day ranks. It ranks next to the good holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving, or so-called good. So-called good, because the natives would call Thanksgiving Day, they'll call that Indigenous Day. Thanksgiving Day wasn't a good day for them. 8:13, you're listening to 95.7 The Boss. I'm your host, William King. Oh yeah, today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Here at The Boss, we are a research radio station. We actually, practice on improving ourselves, our families, and our community. The only way to do it is to do it. And so on Tuesday, oh yeah, we tell the truth on Tuesday. Oh yeah, I know it's hard. I started out with the video, Eyes of the Prize, Harvest of Shame. So we gotta get used to telling the truth, but also accepting the truth. Yes, accepting the truth. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. If you're a young person, constructive criticism is just a criticism of love. Oh yeah, it's just a criticism of love. We're not talking about the criticism that's name calling. Oh yeah, that criticism that puts you down or try to embarrass you or make you feel bad. No, not that type of criticism. We call that mental abuse. We're talking about the criticism to adjust or adapt your behavior. Or just to see if there's truth in those words that are being spoken to you. As an athlete, we receive constructive criticism constantly. And we understood as an athlete, it wasn't personal. It was just to improve ourself, our performance, our fundamentals, whatever it was that we were getting redirected in. And so there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, because that is a criticism of love. It means that they want you to improve, to be the best you. So we put it in practice here at 95.7 The Boss, without a doubt, because we are a community radio station. We don't ignorance here. I work for God, for real. So I'm gonna give y'all some music. It's 8:16. I think I got something to do. I know I got something to do today. Let's see what we got on tap. Excuse me. Boss with me. We're gonna walk through my hood, y'all, with my man. Oh yeah, prophecy. Boss with me.
5 steps away from my porch, headed to the corner store. Could already smell the aromas of death, lust, and hydro. While kids playing out in the streets, making one to pop their mouths, talking disrespectful. Hell, you never see their parents around. A block away from my crib, walking through a gang slang and gang bang. Lost souls repeating the same things. Really wish that I could move right now, but I can't. So since we're both here, maybe you could take my hand and walk with me. Come walk with me through my hood. Come on and take a walk with me. Where redemption ain't all good. Take my hand, take my hand. Baby, if you take my hand, finally then you'll understand. Baby, if you take my hand, finally then you'll understand. About 2 more blocks to go before I reach my destination. Perspiration, 97 degrees, I need that hydration. Contemplating for the first time a body in a strap. Cause only 50 feet from my current stance, but that's getting jacked. And I can't do a thing besides walk on by. Because I don't have some heat like they do. Yet it's still my heart cries. Only 1 more block to go to finish my mission. And it's my favorite block cause it's sister that I've been feeling. Hey, what's up, Aisha? Damn, what happened to your eye? But I would be a lie acting like it's the first time. Only once can you play victim when you find that someone's toxic. After that, you're a willing participant in all the night. She replied, I really wish that I could leave, but I can't. So since we're both here, maybe you could take my hand and walk with me. Come walk with me through my hood. Come on and take a walk with me. Where redemption ain't all good. Take my hand, take my hand. Baby, if you take my hand, finally then you'll understand. Baby, if you take my hand, finally then you'll understand.
Big bitty bad, big city. Who got the big world? Big that pretty on tsunami, that's a good kitty. Pretty face, long hair, that's a good fitty. Look at that, I thought he in the hoodie rag. Hit the model chicken down, she throw that goodie bag. Shorty like to ski like a mini man. Pretty in the leg, toting plenty. It's in Miami, toting plenty. It's big Queens, toting plenty. It's some in the A, shaking plenty. Put the in the face and do a minute blast. Go tsunami on the bad. Go tsunami on the nami on the. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live. Bad. Go tsunami on the bad. Go tsunami on the. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live.
She let me know she wanna get it jumpin'. So I let her know I wanna hit the pumpkin. And then she let me know she wasn't with the front end. Well, get with it, honey, let me hump then. Plump like a plum lady, let me put my thumb in it. Gone, throw my bone in the box like I'm done with it. Dome, no I don't, tell her stop cause she done with it. Home like I know she a thought, but the bun's wicked. And I ain't gotta call her my boo, cause as bad as I wanna, that means she wanna too. I come at her too, I get it crackin', running her through. She ready to go, that means you can run on her too. Hey.
Bad, go tsunami on the bad, go tsunami on the nami on the. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live. Bad, go tsunami on the bad, go tsunami on the. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live.
Ride on this pole, come off of that mouth. Don't act like you don't know what to do with that rope. That tongue ring, that ring is there to catch your nip. Yes, I'm my nip. Nah. Throw that back when you see a trill. Guaranteed to make a clap when she twerking on. Run it for a plate. I call her booty all day, booty every day.
Go tsunami on the bad. Go tsunami on the nami on the. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live. Bad, go tsunami on the bad, bad. Go tsunami on the shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she yeah.
That was my man Conceited. We just took some pictures the other day. Shouts out to my man Slim was promoting his product line. Yeah, we was promoting his product line. That was my man Conceited. He got a new album coming out. Supposed to be sliding through. Come back with some more new music, y'all. Actually, this is for, oh yeah, for the ladies. Boss with me. This is my man Louis L. Mackin. Boss with me.
In my pit, there's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. Read it again. Read it again. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. I wrote you a note about it. Exhausted my pen. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. Read it again. Read it again. I wrote you a note about it. Just read it again. Just read it again.
I know that this ain't much your way to get out what I really wanna say. I that you'd figure out something slick you could use just to make me wanna stay. I can't even look at your face, so I thought of a way I could still play my part. Girl, I just play it and safe. I'ma give us the that you already created. I hate it, we never compromise. But then we lay it on top of all the lies. And I don't see why you're here if you ain't about the life. I'm picking you didn't notice the day the flower died. But you know about it, lost in my pit. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. Read it again. Read it again. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. So I wrote you a note about it. Exhausted my pen. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. Read it again. Read it again. I wrote you a note about it. Read it again. Read it again. I tried my best to work with you. You think it don't, but it hurts me too. You're not in this all by yourself. In no time, you're with somebody else. Act like you care. Don't act like I wasn't there. None of my feelings were spared. Trouble is all in the air. All in the air. I really wasn't prepared. You gave me all of the reasons for taking it there. You know about it. Lost in my pit. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. Read it again. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it again. I wrote you a note about it. Lost in my pit. There's a misunderstanding. Just read it. Read it again. Read it again.
You're a thief, you're a thief. Came here without a key. Don't know what you took from me, but I'm sure that you stole my heart. You're a thief, you're a thief. Came here without a key. Don't know what you took from me, but I'm sure that you stole my heart. Oh, yeah. You're a thief, you're a thief. Just give my heart back to me. Just give it back to me. Just give it back to me. Hey, hey. Sit right up under my nose, but I was still able to breathe. Was she that much smarter than me? Guess she wanted better than me. Guess she wasn't ready for me. Just wanted to see what was free. Why would you take it from me if you got plans to replace it? You ain't trying to protect it. You don't want to embrace it. You just want to possess it. It was golden. Please call the police, cause my shit was stolen. You're a thief, you're a thief. Came here without a key. Don't know what you took from me, but I'm sure that you stole my heart. You're a thief, you're a thief. Came here without a key. Don't know what you took from me, but I'm sure that you stole my heart. Oh, yeah. You're a thief, you're a thief. Just give my heart back to me. Just give it back to me. Just give it back to me. Hey, hey. I should've knew right then. My heart was skipping a beat. Air was up under my feet. Guess all in the moment of heat. Guess you were the one that I needed. But as far as I could see, it was so sacred to me. But you ain't holding no secrets. You just wanna expose it. Damn, I really look stupid. Social media knows it. This house wasn't open. You just broke it. And my shit was stolen. You're a thief, you're a thief. Came here without a key. Don't know what you took from me, but I'm sure that you stole my heart. You're a thief, you're a thief. Came here without a key. Don't know what you took from me, but I'm sure that you stole my heart. You're a thief, you're a thief. Just give my heart back to me. Just give it back to me. Just give it back to me. Hey, hey.
Man, that's Louis L. Mack and Omaha Styling. We'll keep it rolling, y'all. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. It is the 20th of April. Oh, yeah. Be purposeful today. Be purposeful, y'all. All right? That's that Louis L. Mack again, man. It is the 20th. I think it was that mic. There we go. Turn that down. Yeah, it was that mic. That was Louis L. Mack, and we'll keep it rolling, y'all, with some more music. We'll mellow it out. It's 8:31. Going to North Dallas. Check this one out, my man. Classic music. Boss with me.
Oh yeah. Say what you want.
Fresh smile, new ice dripping out the stove, turning heads on the eye. Ducking snakes, ducking mice, ducking bars, live a rich life, Lord knows. I deserve it, never shipped the purpose, never curved it, stood like a guard dog. Hit the trap, chopped it up, hit the streets, could eat like a warthog. Hustle anyway, never had a penny brain, got on many chains, step. Juice like Minnie Man, started with a penny vein, now I'm getting many more blessings. Touching on green, those X, touching on blue like Exo. Yeah. Seen right through the fake Exo, only my family I flex. Say what you want. Yeah. This boss ain't nothing new to us. Hustling, had to do it. Keep a bitch stick, don't make me lose it. Hold up, you thought this boss ain't nothing new to us. Hustling, had to do it. Keep a bitch stick, don't make me lose it. Took a whole thing, I won't breaking no. All this ice on my ass is damn cold. I never been a joke, I never been a snake, never stayed broke. Touching was the rope to the cake. Real street don't matter. Hustle anyway, never had a penny brain. Got on many chains, step. Just like Minnie Man, started with a penny vein, now I'm getting many more blessed. Touching on green, those X, touching on blue like Exo. Seen right through the fake Exo, only my family I flex. Yeah, this boss ain't nothing new to us. Hustling, had to do it. Keep a bitch stick, don't make me lose it. Hold up, you thought this boss ain't nothing new to us. Hustling, had to do it. Keep a bitch stick, don't make me lose it. Took out. Say what you want.
Blaming on Monster.
It's really no surprise, the tingle in my spine. You give me butterflies, you take me to cloud nine. I'm on a super high. I like you hold it down, from the way you walk to the way you talk. Sweet like a kiss on the collarbone, it turns me on. At times I can't take it, I can't even fake it. It's true, you give me chills. You give me chills. The way I feel this can't be. My time is for you. You give me butterflies inside. Such a wonderful sensation is what I feel with you. You give me butterflies inside. It's your smile, it's your style, it's your face, it's the way that you do what you do. Makes me want you. You give me butterflies inside my heart is racing from anticipation, patiently waiting for you. You give me butterflies inside. Ooh, you give me chills. Where I feel this can't be real. My time is for you. You give me butterflies inside. Ooh, it's such a thrill, wonderful sensation is what I feel for you. You give me butterflies, butterflies, butterflies.
fuel to your fire? The fuel to ya. What's the fuel to your fire? Gasoline, gasoline, pour it up. Gasoline, pour it up on C. Pour it up, pour it up on C. Big time. Gasoline, gasoline, know what I mean. What's the fuel to your fire? Fire, what's your fuel? Gasoline, kerosene, hate, love, or breaking rules. What's your motivation? Where's your filling station? All I'm finna do is paint a little illustration. Find a source that make you move. Rev your engine up. Maybe not if you enjoy living life on stuck trust. Been there before, on me talking about I know my tank, but still ended up stranded. Had to dig deep and find the fuel for my line. Something to start me up every time and make me wanna grind. Mine ain't the same as yours, yours ain't the same as mine. I'm challenging you to find the trigger in your mind. Start your engine up, put you in drive. Put on the gas, you don't need no review mirror. You going places in your brand new ride. When you refill, chill, try not to spill all your fuel. Blow it up. Oh, don't spill all your fuel.
Cold hunt on the beat. You ever been on beat? Got nothing left in the tank. Talking no gas, so no gas. It's a dangerous space if you ain't motivated. Get nothing for free. Gotta put the work in if you ever wanna win right now. What's it gonna be? Put on the gas, put on the gas. Put on the gas. Put on the gas, put on the gas. Big time. Put on the gas. 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 Put on the gas.
Done crucifix though. It's Joy on the beats.
Who be the barber? Who be the done? Walking the Prada, what it done? Foreign no logo, come it done. That's it dada, come in the crucifix though. Party now we from Puerto Rico. The man them go loco, the girl them go loco. We love like the tacos. When I visit them from Mexico, take a road, the dog is a big store. Atlanta to London, Nebraska to Lagos to Asia. We dey give them insomnia. Isabella, Maria, Alexa, Julie, and Gabriella. They keep sending love letters. Compressor. We make her feeling nice. She don't realize. Anything when you like. Just make her booty bounce. For crucifix though. Party now we from Puerto Rico. The man them go loco. The girl them go loco. We love it like the tacos. When I visit them from Mexico. The hero. The young crucifix though.
Baby, call me the double crucifix.
Yeah, you already know.
King the Dreamer on the beat.
It's your boy Kosha, man. Let's try it 10J. Walk low, my walk low. Come on, challenge me walk low. Walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low. Walk low, walk low, walk low. Challenge me walk low. Walk low, walk low, walk man, I wish you love it. Hustle every day, wanna see the top. They ain't gotta love it, they gotta talk it. Whether you good or bad, people always gotta talk it. You can do anything about it. Man, don't even try to change it. Challenge me, walk low. Walk low. Challenge me, walk low. Walk away. Challenge me, walk low. Walk low. Challenge me, walk low. Walk away. Don't mind nobody. Don't spend your money. Don't mind nobody. Don't buy Bugatti. Don't mind nobody. Don't spend your money. Don't mind nobody. Don't buy Bugatti. Feel the cola yare. Yamo go the panya ware. But mine I made it go. Tell them to walk low. Feel the cola yare. Yamo the panya ware. Le Facebook a jare. Tell them to mine I made it go. Could be walling my man. Want to be walling my man. If I say nigga shit, walk low my walk low. Walk low my walk low. Many years ago. Don't go ask me, let my man. Look at my wardrobe. Alors le calé Kwame, les calacotta. Si va comme mes plaies, toi les poser, ni à dos serré. Alors le calé Kwame, les calacotta. Si va comme mes plaies, toi les poser, ni à dos serré. Moulé walk, moulé walk low, moulé walk low, moulé walk low, moulé walk low. Don't mind nobody. Don't spend your money. Don't mind nobody. Don't buy Bugatti. Don't mind nobody. Don't spend your money. Don't mind nobody. Don't buy Bugatti. Hey, ha, hey, ha. DJ Larry Papa, Magnum Music, Marina Rosa.
No nonsense. Double Trouble Records. Been a long time coming.
So long.
Holes in my chucks. Still, let's do this, man.
Yes, sir, man.
I remember walking the yard home, man, with holes in my chucks. This can't be no, I had to roll, no matter what. I remember walking the yard home, man, with holes in my chucks. This can't be no, I had to roll, no matter what. Homies trying to get nicks and dimes, I'm spitting with mine. Gonna rise higher than Bisquick, this gift needs to be maintained. And the game go insane, you don't play by the rules. I don't do those things that those fools do. Industry will fool you, have you believe in something else. If nothing else, homies need to stop fronting over their wealth. It's okay to be hurting, unless you know there's more work that needs to be put in. Stop being in a hurry, don't worry. It's about the journey, shopping sprees, covers on the gurney. It's gonna come, be one to finish, even if you finish last. You'll get the cash, your bag will be enormous, as long as you don't quit. People always know this, those that stuck to the script. If you feel like giving up, homie, just remember this. I remember walking the yard home, man, with holes in my chucks. This can't be no, I had to roll, no matter what. I remember walking the yard home, man, with holes in my chucks. This can't be no, I had to roll, no matter what. You gotta reach higher, man. You gotta reach as high as you possibly can. You gotta reach higher, man. You gotta reach as high as you possibly can. Life's a struggle, it's been hard to pay the rent. It don't matter who the president is. People need to get it right, live their life to the fullest. Them bullets never made you hard. It's all in your mind, all in your grind. You will come up, them holes in your chucks will turn to Jordans and Gators. If you remain a player, gangsters win by becoming a gentleman. Never settling to win, acknowledging when you're wrong. No non-stand real for the meals. I'm on a heavy come up, not concerned with those downloads. As long as I know when my pen touches the paper, it explodes. Unload stories never told quite like this. All my people in the struggle, reason I write these hits. I'm taking my shot, if I miss, I'm still gonna rebound. I'm blowing up West Coast, Vegas to see. I remember walking the yard home, man, with holes in my chucks. This This can't be no, I had to roll. No matter what, I remember walking the yard home, man, with holes in my chucks. This can't be no, I had to roll. No matter what, you gotta reach higher, man. You gotta reach as high as you possibly can. You gotta reach higher, man. You gotta reach as high as you possibly can.
Today is my day. Today is my day. It's my day. Today is my day. I hit a lick today, money got flipped today. Yeah, I bought a fit today, pulled up at beer today. I got a whip today, I'm feeling rich today. Yeah, treat every day like a holiday. Treat every day like a holiday. I hit a lick today, money got flipped today. Yeah, I bought a fit today, pulled up at beer today. I got a whip today, I'm feeling rich today. Yeah, treat every day like a holiday. Treat every day like a holiday. I hit a lick today, money got flipped today. Yeah, I bought a fit today, pulled up at beer today. I got a whip today, I'm feeling rich today. Yeah, treat every day like a holiday. Treat every day like a holiday. Today is the day that the Lord made. You niggas weak, that's a portrait. I'm fresh as a beer, take a portrait. I've been dripping this sauce since the 4th grade. Diamonds on me look like sherbet. Money on me, that's a sherbet. My little bitch wore a short dress, so you know she got food in that Corvette. Making these plays like Chris Paul. Flipping this money like coin toss. American born, American bred, so I don't waste money on foreign cars. I just get paid off of signatures. Inking my deals on the dotted line. Galleria shopping with my baby, she a winner, so I bought a Saint Laurent. She got a fur, it's the same as mine. She got a car, it's the same as mine. VIP, we never wait in line. Holiday, so you know that today is mine. Compete with me, niggas, waste of time. My life is too good, I don't deal with lames. Me and you, we are in different lanes. We are not the same. I hit a lick today, money got flipped today. Yeah, I bought a fit today, pulled up at beer today. I got a whip today, I'm feeling rich today. Yeah, treat every day like a holiday. Treat every day like a holiday. I hit a lick today, money got flipped today. Yeah, I bought a fit today, pulled up at beer today. I got a whip today, I'm feeling rich today. Yeah, treat every day like a holiday. Treat every day like a holiday. I hit a lick today, money got flipped today. Yeah, I bought a fit today, pulled up at beer today. I got a whip today, I'm feeling rich today. Yeah, treat every day like a holiday. Treat every day like a holiday.
All right, the Burbs, the Bluffs. Omaha, we got a guest in the house. Oh yeah, we got you know how these stars are, Omaha. You know how these stars are. They got the publicists, makeup artists, all that stuff. You know, they got their own nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes, and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves with their true names. They took our language. I'll be stuttering and I don't want to mess up their names, but I know I got their names right. But I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, and we'll get right into a dialogue because they have many different skill sets, and we'll probably talk about a little bit of all of those. And so let me get these mics ready for them. So you just talk naturally. You don't have to touch anything, and then you can just talk naturally. I'll push it up.
Okay. All right.
So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Karine Sokpo, and I am the president of the Midlands African Chamber. I'm also the managing attorney of Sokpo Law Group here in Omaha. We are so happy to be here with you today.
And good morning, Omaha. My name is Shay Olowolafe. I am one of the vice presidents of the Midlands African Chamber. I'm also an attorney at the law firm of Jackson Lewis, which is located in Omaha as well.
Okay. So, like I said, you got many different skill sets. You're running a chamber. So, what do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's talk about the chamber. I mean, we are very excited about the Midlands African Chamber and Pitch Black. We just launched it.
Absolutely. In fact, the chamber started last year in response to the unrest that was happening in our community.
Okay.
We decided to come together because as transplants, as immigrants, as people who were not necessarily native of Omaha, there wasn't an organization that we saw that was uniting us. There wasn't an organization that we saw that was supporting us as a community. And we saw that there was a need, and therefore we came together with multiple different people and decided to meet that need.
Okay. Now the membership. Is a membership open to Black Americans as well as African Americans, new immigrants?
Yes. So what the basis for it, like Shay said, is to unite the community, not just, the African community or Africa-born community, but the whole Black community as a whole. So the Midlands African Chamber champions, empowers, and represent businesses in both communities. So membership is open to anyone, regardless of race. But our focus is to strengthen the economic aspirations of the Black community, whether they are Africa-born or diaspora-born.
Okay. So we're just going to call it universal as the Black diaspora.
That's right.
I think that covers it. That covers everyone.
Covers it.
And it's important because there's been stereotypes that have been placed on in your minds as well as in our minds that have, created, separation in between us.
Yes.
Colonialism, is a cause of that. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Yes. So here we tell the truth. Here we actually practice telling the truth. And so, at the same time, by telling the truth, we can educate people so they're less ignorant of what's going on. And so we've both been colonized. We're a little bit different than you, but still colonized. I think this is a great way to, break down barriers between the so-called new immigrants or our African brothers and sisters as well as the Black Americans per se. And even stops with that separation and, like you say, making inclusive the Black diaspora.
I think you are absolutely right about, stereotypes and artificial division, right? Because it is artificial. It was wholly created by artificial divisions. But I think it will be helpful to even talk a little bit about our backgrounds here,
Oh, yes. In one sense, I may come with the African name, but I was born and raised in Michigan.
Okay.
Right. So it is a matter of having the duality of both having a father who was an immigrant, but also the Black experience, the Black American experience, and what that means, and what that means when those who we see don't have the social capital that others have in order to create the generational wealth and progress. It's to see the social capital that's passed down from immigrants who come over here, who brought that with them, versus those who are Black Americans who, it's been eroded because of whatever social policies have been put in place for generations.
Now, the Midlands Black Chamber, is that the Midlands African Chamber? Came in conception based off the just the unrest with the George Floyd and you figure out the best solution is develop commerce between between the black diaspora. I think it's a great idea because I've been talking about this a long time. I even mentioned it to Miss Deborah Dogba, who runs
Business Sales.
Yeah,
She's one of our members.
Yeah, and Afro Swag
Yes.
magazine. We talked about that there is a treaty right now, that's still in existence. I think it expires in 2025, where we can trade between 27 African countries, and we won't be assessed a tariff. And I wanted to see how we can take advantage of the import and export, because I think that'd be the lowest hanging fruit to do business together as far as with the black diaspora, and to decrease stereotypes, because most trades they're assessed a tariff. But right now we have an act right now. It's not a lot of people don't know about it. Even if you call it government, they don't know about it because it hasn't been used a lot. But I wanted to create that conversation to see how we can take advantage of that act while it still exists for the next 3 years, but also develop a campaign to extend that, so we can increase import and export business. It's between the Midwest African, chamber, because not only locally, but having that power like the Chinese have, because we buying our stuff from the Chinese, but we produce that don't we produce that in Africa somewhere?
And to be honest, most of the things are produced in Africa.
What, brother? Shay, come on, Shay.
It is produced in Africa. It's just a matter of Africa's been exploited, and just throughout the centuries, Africa's been exploited. But the low-hanging fruit isn't actually the import-export. The low-hanging fruit is understanding what businesses in our own community are Black and African-owned. The low-hanging fruit right now is supporting those who are actually business owners in our own community. And it starts off with going to those businesses and doing businesses with those individuals, and not asking for the, hey, let me get the brother discount. It's, if you want to support Black-owned, African-owned businesses, it's paying the full rate for what they do.
And the reason why I say import and export, because most of, especially when you talk about Black women, it's a 300% rise in Black women, but most of it has been in healthcare, where they produce their own products.
Oh yes.
And they get in their foundation. Their foundation is shea butter, but where are they getting it from? They're not getting it from the Black diaspora. They got to go in between. So it is important to those existing business where we can get go straight to the wholesaler and not a retailer like they're going to, because now we got a direct link to get the pure shea butter, as well as some of the pure other lotions or whatever natural things that the women over here would bypass them, because they've been tested with animals. They got dyes in it. They got all types of poison in it. And when they get shea butter, it comes from God.
It's the natural thing, and I think it will be great, if we are able to build that bridge to where economically, like products like shea butter are being imported directly by the women here that own those businesses you speak of, from countries like Togo, Nigeria, Ghana, right from the source. It will be much cheaper than getting it from the middleman, and they will have the natural raw product.
And you guys got me fired up, because you guys could be the spokesperson of buying in bulk. Now all these small business, now they instead of spending $15, $20 for a little container, now they can spend $15, $20 collectively. Now buy a big a container or whatever come in a big old bucket, a barrel of it, and you get way more quality for the same price.
And that's where we're headed.
Okay.
It's where we're headed. And
okay, well, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Because right now it's a matter of there isn't a voice in our community. If you look at the news, they go find sometimes the most ignorant of us to speak on behalf of all of us. And,
Right.
And I don't know about you, but half the time I'm like, where do they get this person from?
Right.
Because they obviously don't know what we know. They're not in our shoes. And yet they're the ones who are now being put out there to represent us.
Right.
But yes, we are getting there. It's just a matter of the first step is unifying us as a community.
I totally agree. How can people get in contact and join the Midwest African Chamber?
So we have a website. We are online at the midlandsafricanchamber.com. You know, we want people to join. Our membership is based on the number of employees you have. It starts at $100 a year. So we have done this on purpose. We realize that a lot of the businesses in the African American or the African community are small businesses, mom and pop shops, 1 to 5, less than 10 employees a lot of times. And so we want to make sure that the chamber's membership is affordable for those businesses, because we know that price can be a deterrent.
Without a doubt. But what are some of the benefits by joining your chamber?
Well, currently we hold a monthly business development series for our members, not just our members, but for everybody, because one of the major issues we find in our community is there's a lack of social capital. There's a lack of understanding or knowledge on wealth creation. And one of the best ways that we feel that we can give to our members in our community is to provide that opportunity for knowledge. That started off with having the executive publisher for the Omaha Star speak to us in November. We had the individual who procurement officer,
Doug Carlson.
Yeah, exactly, for the state of Nebraska. This coming Thursday we have
Dr. Dele Davis from UNMC coming to talk to us about the controversies surrounding the vaccines, the COVID vaccine, and how businesses can do to ride out, the tail of the pandemic.
Right.
So we have, our goal is to bring in knowledge, bring in interesting speakers, to talk to us about what they know, educate us, and teach us really how we can use that knowledge to further businesses. We had Damian Foster come on to Power Hour to talk to us about the PPP loans when they came back up, and how business owners can prepare for tax season. This was in January.
So there's those efforts being made to constantly grow our knowledge. The second thing we're doing is we just launched our Pitch Black event, which is a business competition event that just started April 1st, and it's going to the first 2 months is when you submit, just like Shark Tank, where one of the other issues we understand that small businesses have and entrepreneurs have is access to capital. So we figured a way to provide that injection of capital for those who are either existing or want to exist, and to be able to provide the opportunity to pitch their ideas freely, and know that, hey, if this idea is actually viable, that you can have backing and funding for it.
So first place is gonna get $5,000 in funding. Second place will get $2,500. Third place gets $1,500, and everyone, all three will get assistance in the area of marketing, accounting, and legal. So because we figured, you can have a great idea, but if you don't have the funds to put it in motion, you can't get it off the ground.
Right.
If you don't have the know-how, and usually for business is in those three areas, accounting, legal, and also marketing, to try to get the word out. So we figured if we can get them some support in those three areas, then they will be in a good spot. I'm very excited personally about Pitch Black. I post everywhere about Pitch Black, and I always say, we are the Midlands African Chamber. We pitch black. Do you pitch black? Come pitch black with us. Come support Black enterprise. Come support, Black entrepreneurship. And that's why we have this competition. This is the first time we're doing this. We are blessed to have the backing of big businesses around town that are sponsoring this event. Wells Fargo, Cloud Enterprise, all of these companies, OPPD, North End Teleservices, several banks,
And several law firms.
several law firms, are supporting us in this endeavor. So this is something we want to become like a staple here. And we want to do this year after year and have even more money to put in our community.
I think it's a great idea. We're gonna make sure that we can talk more about it as the day nears, without a doubt.
Yeah.
How can people get engaged with the Pitch Black competition or pitch competition?
Sure. So the competition is open right now. It is open right now. We launched it. We started on April 1st. So anyone can apply right now by going to our website and filling out the application. It's free to register to compete. If you need help preparing your pitch deck or your materials for Pitch Black, you can go to the Block, which is a nonprofit based in Lincoln. You can contact them online. You can also go to the Nebraska Business Development Center at UNO through Tony Schultz. And we also have their email on our website. So both those organizations are volunteering, partnering with us to help people put together their pitch packages. So don't let, the technology or how to write your business plan deter you from participating. This competition is open to everyone. You don't have to be a member of the chamber first in order to compete. You can compete even if you are not a member. However, if you do win, if you are one of those 3 people that win in August, you are required to become a member of the chamber at that point.
Oh yeah, I mean, they don't have the money.
Right.
$100.
Exactly.
I mean, why not support an organization that just supported you?
Exactly. And you don't have to be an established business. You can be a startup. You just have to have a well thought out idea, put pen to paper, get the help either through the Nebraska Business Development Center at UNO or through the Block to put it to paper and have a short executive summary, which is about 4 pages or less, and do a little video about your business project, your business idea, and then submit all that on our website, and you're ready to go. So we have judges that will review all the submissions and then identify 5 finalists.
Oh, great. Man, I have all these ideas. I'm glad somebody's doing them. I'm glad somebody's doing it. Because I talk about all this stuff, and finally God is answering prayers. Thank you, God. Thank you. We want to be part of it in some capacity, without a doubt. And so, and then when we get off air, I want to talk to you guys about something else. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We are talking to Shay and Karan.
Yes.
They are attorneys at law here in Omaha. What discipline do you guys represent?
I'll let you go.
I'm in employment and labor, but I only represent management side. So Jackson Lewis is a nationwide law firm of 950 plus attorneys nationwide. We're in pretty much every state, and we represent employers when it comes to anything from opening businesses for their handbooks, their policies. We also do immigration. We also do discrimination, labor, you name it. When it comes to employment, we generally deal with it.
Okay, so right now, equity crowdfunding, that's the new thing. Do you guys?
We do not do capital funding. We only deal with management's relationship with employees.
Okay, so basically you make sure that all the policies or laws are all set up based off of
federal, state, local, you name it.
Okay.
So basically you have big law here and small law over here. So, big law is the 100 plus attorneys firms, and my firm is very small. So I so I went to Creighton here. So did Shay actually go to Creighton here a few years before Shay. But then after I graduated, I went to work for a bigger firm and then decided to go out on my own and create my own firm in 2011.
Okay.
So, when I was at the other firm, I did mostly intellectual property work, trademarks, copyrights,
Okay.
that type of stuff, and international law. But mostly I represented businesses.
Okay.
And I wanted to work more with people.
Mhm.
So I decided to go out and create my own firm in 2011. And so what I do is still do trademarks, copyrights,
Mhm.
but I also do family law, which is your divorces, custody,
Okay.
child support type of thing, and immigration.
Okay.
And immigration, I do removal defense, family-based cases, but also employment-based cases where employers are trying to hire somebody that's not originally from here.
Okay.
And then, so my thing is I get bored doing the same thing all the time. So I
Yeah.
like doing a little bit of various things.
Okay.
So another area of my practice is business law. And in that area, I represent nonprofits that are trying to, to obtain small businesses in things that comes to legal stuff.
Okay.
So those are my various areas of practice.
Okay. So basically, both of you guys are from the business discipline, and so I mean, it fits perfect with the Midlands African Chamber.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And our members range from attorneys to accountants. There is a screen printer.
Mhm.
There's a wealth of different members within the Midlands African Chamber,
Mhm.
and the goal is to understand who's who in our community and then support those.
Yeah. We really want to grow our membership in, we are created with the small business owners in mind, right?
Right.
That's who we are trying to help and champion. And we want to be accessible to them, and we want a lot of them to join us. We do have, we have a lot of small businesses, but we also have big businesses as members, such
Okay.
as, Metropolitan College, OPPD, North End,
My firm, Jackson
yeah,
Lewis. is a
Jackson
good-
Lewis, Jackson
Good, good.
Lewis, Cully Jessen, so we have a lot of big businesses as members, but we want to bring in the small businesses too.
Great.
And show them the value in joining our firm. Networking is a big part of it with us.
Mhm.
We do ribbon cutting ceremonies, help them access funding and things like that through the banks that we have
Okay,
in our
okay.
network.
Great. And you've only been doing this for a year.
Less
For
than
a
a year.
year, less than a
Less
year,
than- less than a
actually.
year.
Yeah.
We have a birthday coming up.
July.
Okay.
That will be our first birthday. In my mind, I'm like, okay, so we've crawled,
Right.
we sat up and we crawled and we're about to start walking.
Very much.
Great. So, guys are welcome back for sure, especially when you guys turn 1 year old. Well, we'll have some. We'll have a bottle here for you. We'll have a
That
bottle
would be
here.
great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I have a little. Yeah. I think I got some. Shouts out to my man. I think I got some of that in the refrigerator, like about four years old. So
Nice.
for real. Omaha, the Birds, the Buffs. We are talking to Karan and Shay. They are representatives of the Midland African Chamber. You can get in contact with them if you want to be registered with the chamber, but also just listed as a black business, because I know aren't you trying to categorize just black businesses anyway?
Absolutely.
How can they get in contact with you guys again?
Facebook, Midlands African Chamber on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Find us on LinkedIn. We are there. Follow us, connect with us on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
We just opened a TikTok account. Yes.
Yeah, TikTok is different.
TikTok is different. So Go to our Facebook page, Midlands African Chamber. Go to our website, midlandsafricanchamber.com, or give us a call. We are in the community. We are pretty excited to be in the community. Our phone number is 402-881-0343. So 402-881-0343. You can email us at info@midlandsafricanchamber.com.
We'll have more information on our social sites also. I know we're gonna join.
Of
We're gonna
course.
diversify. I
Of
believe
course.
in being the example, being bound about it versus talking about it. Make sure you guys get involved. Networking is a key to growing Black business. Every Friday we call it Black Friday, and the reason why we do that is to do it on purpose. We want Black people to start spending money with Black people on purpose. We spend money with everyone else in this community, and also we encourage other people, whites, Mexican, Chinese, to spend money with Black people also on Fridays. So that's why we call it Black Friday. So every Friday, oh yeah, you know what it is? Black Friday.
That's
You
right.
find a Black business to do business with,
That's right.
and you guys smile, they guys smile, you getting the service, they giving the service or product. And so, a best relationship is a business relationship, and that will turn over to personal relationships. If you really want to help out the Black diaspora, oh yeah, then we as Black people got to support each other, but also we need others, our neighbors, to support us also, which is crucial. And so I'm glad you guys started this. A lot of greatness have came out of a cloud, as Maya Angelou would say. So you one of the rainbows that have came out of the cloud of George Floyd tragedy. There's been a lot of rainbows that have came out of that tragedy. Things have started. We started an internet company. I mean, so there's a lot of things that have started based off of some perceive as tragedy.
Yes.
But this is a timeline of our freedom. And so you guys are necessary. Anything else that we didn't talk about? Oh yeah, Pitch Black, right?
Pitch Black.
Now, if you are a startup, you got an idea for a business, this is the opportunity. Pitch Black, baby. Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
Yeah, not with a baseball.
Not with the baseball, but represent Black, support Black, push Black, and support. That's what it is. That's all it is, And if you don't have a business, but you do want to support this, go ahead and register to attend the event. The event will be on August 28th. That's the finale. So you get to watch celebrity judges and you get to watch the finalists pitch their ideas. We're going to have wonderful speakers. I'm so stoked. We have this couple that is originally from, I believe it is Sierra Leone. They created this food products line. They are called Ayo Foods. Their foods are in they are frozen food, frozen African food, and they are in Whole Foods now all over the country.
Okay.
And these are people that fled war, that created this, and they've agreed to come and talk to us about their entrepreneurship journey.
Okay.
On August 28th, we have also an immigrant from Ghana. His name is Samuel Bado, who created this insurance marketplace where people can buy insurance for their loved ones in other countries, health insurance for their loved ones in other countries, especially in Africa. And this is a startup that he created. He is a veteran at pitching it, and he just won a pitch competition. He won like $75,000 for his company. So he's coming to talk to us here in Omaha during Pitch Black about how he did it.
Right.
So we have some exciting things, in store. I'll tell you, one of our judges is going to be Carmen Tapio from North End Teleservices. We have others. I mean, it's going to be great. So register to attend if you don't have a business. Get the word out. Tell all your friends and families and every Tom, Dick, and Harry you meet about Pitch Black. Register to compete or register to participate.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think that's a great opportunity. I had an opportunity to participate in a pitch before. Just work. It's like game time, baby. You gotta perform.
Yeah, we got to deliver.
And then if you need guidance on how to develop a business plan or the foundation of developing your pitch, how can they get that information? Where can they go? Where would you suggest how a person should prepare for a pitch?
So we have two organizations that are helping us. And one of them is the Block out of Lincoln, and go to the blocknebraska.com to visit them. The other one is the Nebraska Business Development Center, and you can find them through UNO. Their phone number is 402-554-6633, or you can send an email to Tony Schultz at unomaha.edu. Now, the Block is in Lincoln, the Block Inc. You can go to communityblock.com and you can contact them at 402-214-7960 or reach out to Philip Dabrus at communityblock.com. So those two organizations are willing and able to help you prepare your pitch materials.
Great. So you got guidance. So if you are a novelist, new to the game, make sure you guys use those two resources. But also, YouTube has everything. Go on YouTube.
That's right.
They're talking smack on there all day long. Quit watching those fights.
That's right.
Yeah,
Or cat videos.
Yeah, all that. Or TikTok videos. Listen. All that information is there. Go research it and then get in the mirror and then start practicing your pitch. That's the best thing to do. Get in the mirror, start practicing your pitch, and then start practicing it in front of your family, your friends, so you can get used to it before you get out into a bigger crowd.
Half the battle is confidence. Really, it really comes down to just confidence. And the more you do it, the better you get. And the better you get, the more
effective you are,
and you're persuasive. And personally, I have a family member right now who started a business last year, and she's perfected her pitch to the point where she's getting venture capitalists coming after her now because she's so ingrained with how to pitch, what they're looking for, and giving them exactly what they need in order to say what the valuation for business is.
Great. Well, we need some knowledge on that side also, because we got a lot of Black businesses are starting. Black people that's starting business for the first time. They still need to know the value of their. And I probably need to talk about our value of our company. Because we just built infrastructure. So what's the actual value of my company now?
Exactly.
And so you guys can help with that also.
Yes, we can at least help direct.
Okay, great. All right. They got everything, y'all. I mean, Shay and Corinne, they got all the answers. Midland African Chambers, Pitch Black competition. Make sure you give them a call if you want to participate in either or both. What's that number again?
So our number is 402-881-0343. 402-881-0343.
Great. Is there anything else that we didn't discuss this morning that you want to make sure we get across?
Become a member.
Stay Black.
Pitch Black.
Stay Pitch Black. And just remember the things that go on in our society does not define who we are. We decide who we are. And with whatever comes out in Minnesota this week, next week, it does not shake who we are and where we're going in this society.
Without a doubt. Any shots out, any important last words before we get out of here?
Well, we want to thank all the sponsors of Pitch Black and invite any companies that are out there that want to join us in this journey to sponsor Pitch Black, you could do that on our website as well. We've made it easy for you. You go to www.midlandsafricanchamber.com and either sponsor, register to attend, or register to compete, all in the same spot.
Without a doubt. To make it easy, kill 3 birds with one stone. No, we won't kill no birds. Feed 3 birds with one stone.
There we
That's
go.
right.
With 1 meal.
That's right.
All right. Omaha, the birds are blessed today. Again, it's Tell the Truth Tuesday. Be purposeful in telling the truth, but also accept the truth. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. It's a criticism of love. Without a doubt, it is the 20th of April. Some people celebrate 420 Day. For those that celebrate 420 Day, happy holiday to you.
Yeah.
Happy 420.
Yeah, happy holiday to you. It is 9:30, y'all. It's going to be a beautiful day. Yesterday was snowing, but God brings the sunshine. Oh, what a God. What a God. Get out. Make sure you guys get your vitamin D. That helps with the corona. Oh, yeah. Corona can mess with the vitamin D. Without a doubt. So stay healthy. Continue to do what you do to keep you and your family safe. Without a doubt, Omaha, we'll be back tomorrow. We got some big things going on this week. All right. Also, we got a Fall Day concert coming up. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned. We'll give you the 411. Boss with us.
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus? Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real. Here's what I want you all to do for me. Check this out, man.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home. Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
The most dangerous is